You've tuned in to Books, Business, and Beyond, the show that teaches you how to maximize your income from your book to create the lifestyle you want. Now here's your host, the girl who loves spinning nunchucks around her head and Legos, Kristen the Book Ninja Eckstein, and her partner in success, Shelley Hitz.
Welcome, everyone, to the 10th episode of Books, Business, and Beyond podcast. This is your host, Kristen Joy, and I'm here with my co-host, Shelley Hitz. Hey, Shelley, how you doing today?
Hey, Kristen. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great, too, and I'm especially doing great because we have two of my favorite people on the call today with us, Lee and Natalie Collins. I have been working with Natalie. In fact, I told her to start her business while we were in an elevator because I needed some help with my back-end services and products, and she happened to have a lot of experience in exactly what I needed. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today and how it can help you as well to diversify your income beyond your book. And Natalie and I, we met in an elevator, as I said, and it was at a conference, and she's just fabulous. I think I've known her for, what, Natalie, you say 2-3 years now?
2 years.
How many?
2.
2 years, yep. And we're pretty much BFFs at this point. I sleep on her couch. And Lee is the bonus that came into Natalie's life. Actually, he was in her life before I met her, and he is one of the most brilliant marketing minds I have ever met. I've had the pleasure of hanging out on their couch with all three of us with our laptops open, just watching TV and brainstorming at the same time. And I have to tell you, there's nothing quite like the mind of Lee Collins, so you guys are in for a treat today. And I think we should just get started. We're just going to talk candidly about how you can use outsourcing to help diversify your income and make more money. That has actually been a key to my 6-figure income, is being able to hire a team, the things that you need to think about when you're outsourcing to a team, and what kinds of things you can create with that team. So why don't we start with Natalie? Natalie, tell us a little bit about what you're doing right now with your new agency, and also a little bit about writing dates and how they can help with productivity, because I know our people are going to be super interested in that as well.
So thank you for having me on and for having Lee on. We're honored to be here. And so with the agency, what happened, as Kristen mentioned, is we met in an elevator. She realized that I had all these back-end skills with stuff, and really they just came from my 13 years experience in the corporate world. And as I started working more online, I realized that I could do a lot of the stuff because I had some of that technical background as it was. So it translated really well online. And it was so cute because Kristen was so excited that I could help her with her back end stuff. She's literally jumping up and down saying, "Will you do this for me?"
I was, when we were hoping the elevator wasn't going to crash.
I could totally see you guys doing that. Like, that's just the best story.
But it was really funny because I just looked at her and I was like, "You're going to pay me for it?" She's like, yes. Can I throw money at you, basically? So how could I say no?
Exactly.
To this? And so what I realized is that I was really quickly able to help other people in the way that I love helping people on the back end with things, and be able to nerd out a little bit on the techie side and build great relationships in the meantime, including with Kristen. So thank you, Kristen, for getting me into the virtual assistant world, because I had no idea what a virtual assistant was before I met Kristen. So I didn't even know that was a possibility. So she opened up this whole new world of possibilities for me that I could, get started making money online, doing things that I enjoy doing, which isn't that what we all want to do?
Heck yeah.
So over the past couple of years, I have developed a lot of, big clientele with stuff. And I realized that I can't help everyone, but there's a lot of people out there that just want to help, but don't know how to find clients. There's a lot of business owners that don't know how to find the help that they need within their business. And I just happen to have a connection with both ends of the spectrum. So Lee and I started OB1 Agency to bring those two worlds together so that business owners can come to us, get the help they need in their business, and virtual assistants can come to us as well and get the business that they need in order to to really be able to work from home and to thrive, and not struggle with trying to find clients. And so I love being this middle person that gets to help both sides of the spectrum.
And it's awesome. I mean, you guys can learn more about OB1 Agency and exactly what they do at booksbusinessandbeyond.com/, the letter O, the letter B, and the number 1. So it's kind of like Obi-Wan from Star Wars, only it's Obi-One.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you a funny story on how I came up with that name in case you're curious.
Yes, please.
Our tagline is, your online business is our number 1 priority. And so OB1 is short for that analogy. That's our backing of our business. And I like Star Wars. So putting the two of them together was just a fun way for me to build a business that people can smile with.
Which, speaking of Star Wars, if it's okay with Lee, I would like to bring you on right now and tell us a little bit about what you're doing with Obi-Wan and also with your new Jedi training coaching that you just recently started developing.
Oh, thank you. Great to be here. I feel a little bit intimidated by being surrounded by 3 such smart, magnificent women. So just want to say that. Yeah, I've been doing this for a long time. I've Air Force veteran. I had 2 major corporate executive positions, and then I decided to hang up that hat and do my own thing back in 2007. But I've been online since 1999 and helping people. One of the things I love is talking to an audience or talking to people and just seeing those light bulbs go on. That does it for me. And so a few years ago, I was doing some personal consulting with people, and I decided that, it's time for me to do it again. I stopped doing it for a variety of reasons. One of the reasons is because I was busy helping other companies as an inside person to run their businesses. That's what people hired me for the past 4 years. People had been calling me like a marketing Jedi or marketing whatever, ninja. It's kind of, I don't want to say ninja because then I thought, man, Kristen's the book ninja. I don't want to be a ninja too. So
you are a ninja though.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I started my own high dollar consulting program again called the Marketing Jedi. So I work with people one-on-one to help them improve their businesses in major ways. And my goal each time I work with someone is to add a 0 to their bottom line, an extra 0. So,
which I'm excited about because I work with you. So I'm freaking excited about adding that extra 0. Also, I would like to find out from each of you your favorite productivity tip. And I think I already have an inkling as to what Natalie's is going to be since I hinted about it earlier. And your favorite back-end marketing tip that someone like an entrepreneur might want to consider outsourcing or hiring someone to help them do, someone like Obi-Wan Agency to help them set up. So Natalie, let's start with you.
Well, actually, you did hint about one of my absolute favorite productivity tips, and that is a writing date. And I love to gather my laptop up, gather my project idea that I have going on in my head, and head over to my local coffee shop or cafe and have focused time to where it's anywhere between 1 to 3 hours where I just sit there and I don't get on Facebook. I don't check my email. I don't do any of that stuff. I focus on what I'm writing at the moment. So it could be a blog post. It could be a chapter in a book. A project that I'm working on for a client, but I get out of my normal environment that I see every day. Working from home is fantastic. I love it, but sometimes we need that shift in perspective and shift in environment in order to reinvigorate our productivity. So I do that, and you'd be amazed at how much stuff you can get done in 1 to 3 hours when you do these little hacks, is what I like to call them. So I go on writing dates, and I go on them often and have a lot of fun with it. I also, the first Saturday of every month, as you two both know, and now our audience is going to know, is I have a writing date that I have a Google Hangout with, and I invite people on, and we all get together as a group and have a big writing date and celebrated within the Facebook group on like what our accomplishments are for that writing date that we did. And I love having accountability with everybody as well.
And Shelly and I have each been guests on your Writing Date Google Hangout Day. And you also came up with National Writing Date Day as well, right?
Yes, I did. I wanted to bring that national awareness that this is a fun thing to do.
And what day is that?
That is the first Saturday in October.
No, September. So every first Saturday of the month, you have a Google Hangout writing date with everyone. And then the first Saturday in September is the National Writing Date Day. And yes. Any of you listening can go find out more about that at booksbusinessandbeyond.com/writing date. You can go check out Natalie's free writing dates and get into her free Facebook group and find some really awesome people there. I can say they're awesome because a lot of them are my people. so super fun. Shelly and I are both there as well.
Yeah, and I have to say, it really does work. Like when I was on your Hangout, Natalie, I told you I was, I think I posted it in the group. I was working on a book and I finished and published it in that next week after my writing date. And so it is amazing how productive you can be in a writing date when you really set aside a time. So I encourage everybody, go check it out at booksbusinessandbeyond.com/writing date.
Awesome. And I remember I was on the first Google Hangout you did for, I think it was National Writing Date Day was your first one. And I was writing on the beach, which was like so much fun to be able to show people you can also travel, which is the goal of, this podcast, is to show you how to be more productive, how to get more income so that you can do the things you want, like go places and write while you're there. So Lee, what's your favorite productivity hack or tip?
My favorite productivity tip is don't let anything interrupt your own time. Own your time. For example, I don't keep my email open all day. A lot of people keep their email open all the time, and they use it almost like an instant messenger. That is not the intent of email. And what I want to do with your audience is I want to give them permission to take their time back. I don't keep my alerts on for my phone for text messages. I look at my text messages when I choose to. Facebook messages, I don't keep those on either. So anything that can come into your life that's interrupt driven, email, text, Facebook messages, I give you permission right now just to take that time back because you own your time. And when you own your time, you could be more productive than you are when you're constantly being interrupted or waiting to be interrupted. Another parallel to that or ancillary to that really is don't feel obligated to respond to email or text right then. I mean, if it's obviously an emergency situation or something urgent, sure, but never ever feel obligated to answer email, text, or anything right at that moment because when you own your own time, you decide when you respond. And all my friends know this. I mean, everybody I talk to when even you, Chris, I tell you, I say, hey, if you text me, don't expect a response because I'm going to get to it, and I guarantee you I'll get to it. But I'll get to you on my own time because I like to own my day. I'm not meant to be rude or anything of that nature. It's just that I know how precious time is. Everything in life costs money or time, or sometimes both. Money you can replenish over and over again. Time you can never replenish. So if someone interrupts you with something that takes time away for something more important, you just have to know how to prioritize your day.
And that is preaching to the choir here. I try to teach that as well, and following it is a whole nother ballgame. I have a feeling that working with you in the upcoming months, I'm going to be majorly challenged in that area because I'm one of those people that uses email as instant messaging.
Yep.
Not a good idea. And I will say you're right. I mean, it really cuts into the productivity of my day. I'm most productive when I wake up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and just go to town because nobody's emailing at that time. Nobody's texting. And just being able to have permission to take that time back throughout the day, that's so, so valuable. So thanks for that tip. Yeah.
Really quick, just another way to do that too is automation. I look at automation like it's somebody or something doing the work for you. And so, when you're working with an agency like ours, a lot of times what can happen is a lot of things can be automated. So something or somebody else is doing the work for you. And then you don't have to be interrupted. You can enjoy your time as a business owner.
Yeah, I can speak to that from customer support perspective. I had Natalie, and I now have another gal, Jessica, handling all of our support desk issues. And my word, does that free up my time in a big way. I didn't know what to do with myself the first week. I was like, I have time. Wow, what do I do? And I was more productive. I think I had Natalie put up 3 products that week for me. So I was all super excited about it. So another tip I'd like to get from each of you is your best tip for something that you can do on your back end from, let's say, from an entrepreneur perspective, from a book that you might want to consider having someone else help. I mean, obviously, do-it-yourselfers can figure it out. But something that the agency might specialize in setting up can really help expedite the process for authors to make more money off the back end of their books. So who wants to start?
I can go ahead and start. So something that I know that you teach, Kristen, is to have an opt-in through your book.
Right.
And to have that, so whenever somebody buys your Kindle book or buys your book online, you give them a link to go to sign up for a free report that goes with it, or something that complements the book in some way. And a lot of writers that I know get very stalled in this point of the process. And, they may have a website, they may not even have a website. So say you have a website already, but you don't know how to get that free report up and going. That is something that you can outsource and write the report, do what you're good at by doing the writing part of it, and then pass it off to a team member and have them create the entire funnel for you. So this is something that we specialize in OB1 agency, is just getting that funnel up and ready for you so that you can start bringing in people into your funnel and start growing your list so you can grow your business.
And this is something that I teach a lot about. It's like email marketing has been my number one marketing tip, even for, selling my books. And I recently did a Sell More Books challenge. And Natalie, you are so right. The number one thing people got hung up on in getting that opt-in set up, getting everything, in place, was the technology. And so, if you can remove that barrier and invest, people can invest project wise and then long-term wise in a virtual assistant, right?
Absolutely. And then, we do specialize, and we do have packages and chunks of time that you can purchase to where you only have to pay for getting this particular funnel put together. You don't have to commit to 6 months of having a virtual assistant. If you just need help with this one particular project, we can help you get that done. Don't let something like a technical thing get in your way, because there are so many people out there that love doing this when you can focus on what you do best.
And there's so many people out there, you authorpreneurs, that want to hear your message, and they need to hear your message. And I know with coaching my own clients that the mindset piece is huge. They will use technology as their excuse for not getting it done, when really it's a fear of, oh crap, but what if this works? What if my list grows? What if I start making money? Then what? Well, then you can take over the world. Hello.
Yes.
Well, it's a good thing, people. So don't let the technology be an excuse for your mindset to be stuck where you are right now. And then you're just going to be unhappy forever, until you actually make that shift to make that change.
Yes. And we're running out of time. So let's get Lee's tip as well before we have to close out the show today. It's gone by so fast.
It has. Go for it, Lee.
I know. Wow. Okay. Here's my quick tip, since we're running out of time, is don't forget the power of offline. Having email follow-up is fantastic, but one of the I'll call it a trick. One of the tips that I have done for years is you have in your book the form where they can go online and opt in. Usually that's either with the first name and an email, or just an email, depending on how you set it up. We all are probably familiar with the fact that if you ask for too much information, then the likelihood of them giving it to you is going to go down. So what I like to do is this. You give your first tip to give your bonus on that first page, and on the second page say, oh, maybe you'd like to also have this. I'd love to send it to you in mail. It's a free CD. It's a free whatever, free little guide. Just give me your physical mailing address, and pay shipping and handling of like $4.95 or anything to $6.95 works pretty well. Then you can also get their physical address. And what I like to do there with the follow-up is send them a handwritten thank you card. That transformed my business when I first started doing handwritten thank you cards. So please don't please don't misunderstand and misinterpret or underestimate the power of the handwritten thank you card and going offline with it. Because as entrepreneurs, you know the power of a book. So you already know the power of offline. So let's try to do both and try to kind of hybrid market. And if you don't like doing handwritten thank you cards, which a lot of people don't, then that's something that we can help you with as well to embrace the offline marketing perspective.
And that is golden genius. Thank you both for being here today on our show. And once again, everyone, you can find out more about the OB1 agency at booksbusinessandbeyond.com/OB and the number 1. And you can also sign up for the free writing dates by Natalie at booksbusinessandbeyond.com/writing date. Thank you both for being here today, and signing off with Books, Business, and Beyond podcast. This is Kristen and Shelley.
You've been listening to Books, Business, and Beyond, the show that teaches you how to maximize your income from your book to create the lifestyle you want. Visit your host, Kristen the Book Ninja Eckstein, and her partner in success, Shelley Hitz, at booksbusinessandbeyond.com and grab your free gift today. Tune in next time for more ways to diversify your income beyond the book, and don't miss a single episode. Subscribe to this podcast on iTunes.